I know what God told me. Don't tell me what God told you. I know what God told me. Don't tell me what God told you. I know what God told me. Don't tell me what God told you. I met God last year. The angels that are here, all the lights, are angels here for the fifth trumpet. He told me what the trumpets were. I met God. He handed me the light of God. He told me to move out the cities. He told me Armageddon is here. Armageddon is here. This is not a fucking drill. This is a fucking emergency. Armageddon's here, whole heaven dear. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God said he thinks we're coming in and killing him like we did Saddam Hussein. When he knows we did it really fast and knocked out all his communications and we're gonna kill him. And Saddam Hussein had to go live in a fucking hole. This guy built two palaces right by Russia, by the back door, a little one and a big one, underground, layers, with 300 years of food in them. And he knows the president's gonna nuke him back. God said he's got over 100 nuclear missiles and 28,000 chemical missiles. He's going to put them on his rocket launchers and he's going to launch them everywhere. He's only got so many stage 2 missiles. God said a few hundred of them that he's going to launch all at us. He saves all the stage 2 missiles for America. America gets every stage 2 missile he's got. He's going to fire dumb missiles with them, just missiles with nothing in it. And just that go up at the first stage. And then the second stage missiles are going to get through. He's going to lay waste to our ships, God said. That's one of the trumpets too. God said he's going to shoot nuclear missiles like dominoes out into the sea and let them blow up and blow up and blow up and walk nuclear missiles out to the fleet that knocks down missiles. He knows that the guidance systems on missiles don't work when a nuclear bomb blows up. And he'll send the next one right out after that one and let that one blow up, and send the next one right out and let that one blow up. He knows where our fleet is. God said he's by satellite time from Russia and China. God said all the nuclear missiles are from Russia. It's all Russian radioactive stuff. They showed him how to set up the nuclear power plant. They helped him build it. They sold him a whole bunch of missiles. Everything we find over there is evidence that Russia has been selling them missiles for years. God said that's why Russia has the most billionaires in the world, because they've been selling missiles and all kind of other shit since the Russia collapsed to him and a whole bunch of other people. God said China has him set up in the dope business game. He deals drugs for China. He makes bath salts, the drugs that are chemicals, and these scientists have figured out a way to make a whole bunch of chemicals stick together that makes you go insane, and they put it in bombs, missiles, God said, a ton of it, in snowflake form. They got a big machine, 2 of them, God said, that stamp out the snowflakes like candy to put, and they layer it in the missiles, and it's a simple detonation device 10,000 feet above the cities. The chemical bombs blow up, and one snowflake, God said, can make 100 people go insane. They invented a way to make it stick. When it comes down out the sky, when it falls out the sky, whatever it lands on, it sticks to it. If it lands in your jacket, it's stuck to it. When you touch it, God said it smells like grease or bird shit if it gets on your windshield. And God said if it lays, it'll lay on the ground for a week before it slowly evaporates and goes away. For a week, wherever it goes and lands, it's there before it slowly dissolves over a week period. Stay inside for 7 days. When the war starts, come out on the 8th day. You can come out on the 8th day. Do not come outside before that. Communications are probably going to be knocked out, and a bunch of areas they'll come back on. We got a lot of the states self-contained, but when power does come back on, it's going to be at a minimum. Move out of the cities. Armageddon is here. I met God last year. I met him, and he told me, after handing me the light of God, he told me Armageddon is here. Hold heaven dear. Yes, there is a God. Yes, I met God. Yes, there is a God. And yes, Armageddon is here. Hold heaven dear. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. Move out the fucking cities. This is not a drill. Armageddon is here, people. I met God last year, and he's really, really, really cool. All the bad things are us. Everything bad that happens on this planet is a product of us being on this planet and shitting this planet up. That's what we do, God said. And he loves us. No matter if we go to hell or wherever we go, he said he talks to us all the same. The lights in the sky are angels being around God because God is sad. God told me when I met him that he stays in human form and goes through all of our pain and suffering and all of our joy too. And angels are coming to be with him right now. That's what all the lights are. Angels are coming to be with him for two reasons. One, that he's sad, and the fifth trumpet is when angels come down and rapture you back up to heaven. If your soul's caught in a nuclear bomb blast, God said, you don't know whether you're alive or dead for 1,000 years. And if you're love and light, the angels escort you back up to heaven. If you're shit, you go to the pit. Satan comes out and they rapture you down to the pit of shit. And he just throws your shitty ass in the corner in a pile of shit, and you slowly defrost over 1,000 years, is what God told me. I do not know what God told you. I know what God told me because I met God last year. I met God 7 months ago, and I have moved out the city where God told me I'd be safe because Armageddon is here. Once again, this is not a fucking drill. Armageddon is here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. He thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. And he built 2 palaces right there by Russia. He had all Russians help him build it, one little one and one big one. They're on the river where there's 2 little lakes or some lakes apart, and then a couple little lakes. He's got one on one side, one on the other, a big one and a little one. He's got 300 years of food there. He's got tanker trucks from Russia there, painted camo green, full of diesel. A whole shitload of them. He's got wind turbines there. He's got all kind of stuff there. And he will be watching the war from underground. And God said he thinks it's funny. God said he thinks it's funny when he rapes and kills little kids. God said he thinks it's funny when he kills whole families. God said he thinks it's funny that all his people are going to die. And God said he thinks it's funny that the people are going to die over here. And he really thinks it's funny that he's going to be hiding out when all this happens underground, watching it on his little system. He's got a system set up where he'll still get communications from satellites. Like I said, he buys satellite time from Russia and from China. That's what God told me. I do not know what God told you, but I know what God told me. Move out the cities. Armageddon's here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God said he's the most evilest soul here right now. God said he makes Hitler look like a baby. Hello, I just got the wrong kind. I need ones that are a half-inch bigger. Can I just go get them?
Yep, you sure can.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's what God told me. I do not know what God told you. I met God last year. I talk to him all the time now. He told me move where I moved at. But he said, you can move out the cities and you'll be safe. But he told me to move where I moved at. He told me a specific spot he wanted me to be at. So I moved to where God told me to move. I got rid of my home and everything. He told me I would die a slow and painful, horrible death down there in Florida where I was at. So I moved. I told my sister the next morning that I met God, and I was selling my home for next to nothing to my neighbor, and I was moving, and she told me I was insane, that I had went nuts. And like everybody else has told me, but it doesn't bother me a bit. I met God last year. Armageddon's here. Whole heaven dear. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. The guy's evil. God said he's the most evil soul here right now. God told me that he's going to make Hitler look like a baby when this shit goes down. He sneak attacks us. God told me I do not know what God told you. I know what God told me because I met him in person last year. And I spent a week with him, 9 or 10 days with him while he told me all this stuff. And God told me to move. God told me to move, and God told me to move to a specific location out of the cities. He said I could move anywhere I wanted out of the cities, but he really wanted me to move here. So I moved here. I sold my home for next to nothing, took the money and moved here. I don't have any money. I had enough money to move here, thank God. And Armageddon is here, people. I met God last year, and we do get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God said he's going to make Hitler look like a baby. God said when we invade his country, we have to put down over 100,000 men, women, and children like rabid dogs, because there's no hope for them. He's been feeding them chemicals for years and he's got them all locked up in cages. And his scientists and chemists have been doing tests on them to see what the chemicals do to your body. And God said he thinks it's so funny when he goes and visits them. He thinks it's funny that they don't have no more brains left and they freaky looking. And God said he thinks all of it's funny. God said when he murders people, he thinks it's funny. God said he kills whole families and thinks it's funny. God told me, it's what God told me. I wrote a book about it called The Great War Whore, Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. God told me the guy rapes and kills little babies. That's what he does. He does not like them above 3 years old. And God told me he rapes and kills them. That's what God told me. God told me he's been doing it all his life. God told me he's the most evil soul here right now. God told me he's been trying to talk to him. God won't talk to him, and he's going to do it out the blue. Or God would tell me when he's going to do it. But God said he planned this last year. That's when the trumpets were played. God said he'd tell me if he was going to do it at a certain time, but he's going to do it out the blue. He's got everything prepared, and he's just going to do it out the blue. He's just going to get his computer. He has a computer like the president. The president, they call his the football. I do not know what he calls his, but he's going to get his computer, and he's going to give the orders for his soldiers to start firing and sneak attack us this year. I don't know, something's probably going to happen. One of our jets, or probably he's going to see it on radar coming over the thing, or a whole group of jets. He's probably going to panic, God said he's insane. God said he's evil. God said he rapes and kills little boys, 3 years old. That's why he likes them when they first start the war. That's what God told me about him. I do not know what God told you. I only know what God told me. I met God 7 months ago. I spent 9 days with him. He told me everything. He told me everything about him. He told me everything about the president. He told me everything about the president's life. When the president grew up, what the president did when he was a teenager, where the president went, everything the president did, just like he told me everything Kim did growing up from a boy when he was a teenager. I wrote a book about both of them. I wrote exactly what God told me they are. I wrote exactly what Donald Trump is. And just like I wrote exactly what Kim is. Donald Trump loves this country. Donald Trump is a great man. Donald Trump taught his kids love and light. Donald Trump taught his kids to love this country too. Donald Trump taught his kids to hold this country dear. Just like God says, hold heaven dear. That's what God told me. Donald Trump taught his kids real good. Donald Trump gave his kids love and light and did not spoil the shit out of them, which he could because he's a billionaire. That's what God told me. I do not know what God told you. I know what God told me, to move out the cities. Armageddon is here. Whole heaven dear. And then everything about Kim, who's going to do it, who starts it, and the president has no choice but to nuke him back. There is no choice in the matter. The missiles do not stop coming out of North Korea once it starts. And we have to lay waste to North Korea. Kim has planned on this. His elite evil is with him up by his compound. He's got a whole bunch of men. His men that are his men, all his generals and stuff, and his men that can be trusted. He's got an army up in the compound, all over the place up there. All over towards the back door of Russia. His men are dug in everywhere. He's got a lot of them too. We have to invade North Korea. God said the president will ensue the draft within the first month of the war, probably the first week. Whatever TVs are left in whatever cities he'll come on, and he'll ensue the draft, and it will start immediately. MPs will be coming out. Probably the police will be coming out to your house to get you if you don't show up. Everybody basically is going to be really, really, really pissed and want to go over there. So I'm guessing 99% of people show up to go over there. I can't go over there. I'm too old. I tried to go over there when I was young, and they said I was too crazy. I tried to enlist 3 or 4 different times when I was a teenager. When I was 17, 18, and 19, I tried to enlist in all the services. They said I was insane. I did not follow orders well when they asked me questions. My first response to a dumb question was to murder them. So I am not a good follower. If you tell me to get up and go run into a hail of bullets, chances are 99.9% of the time, I'm just going to put a bullet in your head and say you got up and ran into a hail of bullets. I'm a smart fighter. There's no jumping up and running into a hail of bullets to me. But some people, I guess, want you to do that. Not me. But God told me all this. God said he lays waste to our fleet. He walks missiles out like dominoes, God said, all the way out to the fleet. He walks them all the way out to the fleet. One missile after another. God said he knows that the missile, when it blows up, a nuclear missile, it messes up guidance systems. And that's how he gets out to the fleet. God said he knows exactly where the fleet's at all times, because God told me he buys satellite time from Russia and from China. And he's going to continue getting it when the war starts. He's going to continue having satellite time when the war starts in his bunker to see everything going on, and he is never going to stick his head up. That is his plan, to live in the jungle over there by his buddies. Not all the Russians, just a couple of them. Russians are really good people. So people go heading off thinking Russia's bad. Russia is not bad at all. People there are really, really awesome and cool. People there are really, really good people. They're really, really good people. There's a handful of shit everywhere you go. And it just happens to be the handful of shit that he knows and been buying missiles and all kind of other stuff from. God told me China's the same way. God told me there won't be nobody living in Russia in the next couple 100 years because of the nuclear winter when the war starts. That the president lays waste to North Korea and all the fallout goes all over Russia and all over China. And God told me that we let the Russians in Alaska. We let them colonize, a lot of them. We let them colonize Alaska. So God told me. We let them come out of Russia because we see them starving, and we let them start colonizing Alaska everywhere. Alaska will be the new Russia. God told me that the Russians will come out of there and we let them colonize all over Alaska. So I do not know, again, what God told you. I know what God told me because I met him last year in person. And God told me to move out the city. Armageddon is here. Oh, heaven dear. So I moved. I did what God told me to do. I moved out the city. I'm here now. He told me you could move anywhere you wanted, but he wanted me to go to a specific location. He said just move out of all the cities. He told me the missiles are aimed at all the cities. He told me Kim Jong-un, leader of North Korea, has 15 missiles aimed at New York and 8 aimed at Washington, D.C., and 3 aimed at every other big city we got. That's what God told me. And he's got the shit, the chemicals aimed everywhere. He's got them aimed everywhere. You know? God told me. Oh, and he's got a lot of them. They're going to keep coming until he runs out of missiles or until we lay waste to North Korea. But he gives the order for his rocket launchers to fire all at once. And he's got a lot of rocket launchers that can launch everywhere. He does not fire no missiles at Russia, and he does not fire no missiles at China. Go figure. He fires all the missiles at us, Japan, and everywhere else. That's where he fires all the missiles at. He does not fire any at us. I mean at Russia, and he does not fire any at China. He just fires them all over there at the people that we're allies with. Japan, poor Japan. Japan's gonna get nuclear missiles and shit dust, the chemical missiles everywhere. Japan and the Philippines and that are gonna get littered with chemical missiles, and I think South Korea gets littered with chemical missiles too. I do not know. God said he cannot predict evil. That's what God told me. Again, I do not know what God told you. I don't care. I know what God told me. I really don't. Everybody I told that I met God has been shit, but a handful of people. So that's why I don't care. Every time I tell someone I meet God, that's all they can do is be shit. So that's why I don't care. I've had a handful of people that I told I met God. Armageddon's here. He told me to move out the cities. We get sneak attacked by North Korea. God, believe me. Everybody else has just been shit. So, yeah, I met God last year, and today was my date that I predicted that the war would start, but that I give myself to from when God told me the trumpets were played versus my time chart and playing a war trumpet myself. I came up with today's date where any time after today we'll get sneak attack. And to stay at home after today, I'm going to fast and I'm just going to be with God and see a planet before a third of it gets blocked out by the sun and before all the water gets poisoned. So I'm just going to stay at home and stay with my animals and my cat and everything and be with God and be with the earth, knowing that in my lifetime, a third of the sun's going to be blocked out and the water is going to be poisoned and all of that. So, again, I met God last year, and God told me after spending like 9 or 10 days, I got it marked down. I don't remember. It was a lot of information he was telling me. But after spending almost a couple of weeks with God, he told me at the end about Kim, that Armageddon's here, and that we get sneak attacked by North Korea this year, and why. He thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. And he knows Saddam Hussein had to go run and hide in a hole. And he knows we did it in 15 minutes. We knocked out all the communications. And that's his biggest fear, that he won't be able to communicate with his guys to tell them to fire the missiles and fight back. So he's going to sneak attack us. God said he planned this last the rivers, by the lakes over there by Russia. God told me. Again, I do not know what God told you. I do not care. I know what God told me. God told me to move out the cities. Armageddon is here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. And he told me why we get sneak attacked. He told me all of it. He told me everything about Donald Trump. He told me Donald Trump's whole life from a boy growing up. And he told me Kim's whole life from a boy growing up. I wrote a book on both of them. I wrote a book about Trump and I wrote a book about Kim. Told the truth, exactly what God told me about both of them. You know, I left out a lot of cool stuff about Donald Trump that was personal, that I didn't feel should be in the book. It's a long book, but I left out a lot of cool stuff, you know, that he did in his 20s and stuff. You know, I left all of that out. I didn't want to put the man's personal life in the book. You know, that's his business. You know, but I wrote truth about him, and I wrote truth about Kim too. I put Kim's personal life in there, you know, but I just are you. I don't know. Rub. I don't know what it is. I'll be wrong about. I just need some fucking seeds. Oh, that's fertilizer. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I mean, that shit. Without fertilizer. Again, I met God last year. This is not a drill. This is a fucking emergency. Move out the cities. Armageddon is here. I met God last year. We do get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. Second time in 70 years. North Korea sneak attacks us this year and our allies. God told me he thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. God told me he's been planning this since last year. God told me he built 2 palaces on some rivers and some lakes by Russia. God told me his plan is simple. He thinks we're coming in to kill him, so he's going to sneak attack us first. So at least he got to sneak attack us and he can live his life. He's got 300 years of food over there. All his people are there too now. His whole family, all of them, all his people are there in the palaces now, on the rivers, by the lakes, and he's getting ready to go there. He comes and goes from there, and when he gives the order, he's going to go there and give the order from there and hunker down. He's got deep shafts going from the palaces that are underground, a little bit above ground. It looks like a little village. He's got it going underground with an underground layer for his people, and he's got 300 years of food there, God said. And he's got tanker trucks parked in the woods, in the jungle, full of diesel for his generators, and he's got wind turbine generators and all of that. That's what God told me. I do not know what God told you. I do not care. I only care about what God told me. Yo. Green pea. If I walk around, I cannot find it. I don't know where the fucking seeds are. Green pea. It's hot earlier. Control, release. I don't fucking know. I don't see it. It's a bag of seeds. Fucking seeds. You see them? Pine soil. That's what mix. It's some pine.
I miss the people. Yeah, you do.
I searched all that. Oh, I have somebody. But, seeds. That's all I need. Don't tell me I don't have no seeds. That stuff, they don't have no fucking seeds. More starter. All right, here we go. Here we go. Grass seeds. I finally have them. I do not know which kind to buy that are best for up here. I don't know. I don't know which ones to buy. I don't know which kind of seeds to buy for up here. It's winter. I don't know. I've never lived in the cold. I do not know which ones to buy. Kentucky, sunshine. I don't know. I do not know which kind of seeds to buy. Shade along. High traffic. That's probably what to buy. You got high traffic. You got high traffic. You need high traffic. You got people going high traffic. Be some high traffic shit going on. I probably need high traffic. Grass seeds, what's it called? Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy these, I think. What does it say? I do not know. I only know what God told me. Again, I met God last year. God told me to move out the cities after spending a couple weeks with him. God told me Armageddon is here. We do get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God told me Armageddon is here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God told me. I do not know what God told you. I only know what God told me. God told me all the lights in the sky are angels coming to be with him right now because he's sad. God told me he sits in human form. He goes through all our pain, suffering, emotion, happiness, joy, everything. And he's sad right now because this is going to happen. God told me when America was founded, they threw a big giant party in heaven. God told me throughout time, whenever a part of the world unites in freedom, they throw a big bash in heaven and everybody parties down because God is freedom. That's what he told me. I do not know what God told you. I know what God told me. God told me Donald Trump was a good man. God told me Kim Jong-un was an evil man. Is what God told me. So I do not know what God told you. I just met God 6 months ago, 7 months ago. God told me to move where I moved. He said move out the cities. He had a specific location for me to move, and I moved there. I sold my home in Florida for next to nothing. Took the cash, sold it to my neighbor, and took off. Bat out of hell. Got the hell out of Dodge. I've been freezing all winter long. Uh, I'm finally prepared. I give myself to today to be prepared, and it's not much preparing I did besides move here, save up a little bit of water and a little bit of food. Other than that, nothing else. I did nothing specific. Well, God told me to buy a wind turbine generator, I bought that. And he told me to buy an electric car, I bought that. And he told me to buy an electric bike, I bought that. You know, he told me where he wanted me to live, so I'm living here. I don't know why. I've only got laid once since I've been here. And the women here, you know, I don't know what's wrong with them, you know. Uh, but, yeah, when he first told me to move here, I said, it's a barren wasteland. I'll probably die. There can't be nothing that grows. It's freezing. He said, a lot of things go there. I moved here, and I enjoy it. I love it. I love the place. But I've only gotten laid once since I've been here, you know, and I don't like that, you know. I wish I get laid more, but I've been busy, and I do not lie to people is the main thing. I tell people I met God last year, and when you meet a girl and you tell her you met God last year, Armageddon's here, it's kind of hard to get laid, you know. So I don't care, you know. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to tell them I didn't meet God just to get laid, you know. I told one girl that I met God, and she thought it was creepy that I even believed in God. So I had to turn around and leave. Yeah. And she was fine, too. She wanted me to come back to her house and be booty buddies. And and she told me that, and that creeped her out. Talk about creeping me out. That creeped me out. That creeped me out really, really, really bad when she said that. So I do not know. Again, I met God last year. Hold heaven dear. I met God last year. America gets sneak attacked by North Korea this year. I met God last year. I spent 2 weeks with him, just about 11 days. After which God told me Armageddon was here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea. He told me to get rid of my home and move out of the city, so I did. I've only been here a few months. It's a lot when you meet God in person. That's a lot. So I moved. I tell everybody I meet that I met God last year. Armageddon's here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. He thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. I tell everybody. Everybody I come across, I tell them the same thing. I do not care. I'm the I don't care monkey. What you think. That's the monkey I am. I didn't care what people thought before. I don't care what they think now. You don't have to believe me. I've only had a handful of people believe me that I met God and that Armageddon is here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. And why? You know? Oh, I don't really care. You know, like I said, I am the I don't care monkey. I did not care what people thought about me before. I do not care what people think about me now. Does that make any sense? I didn't care before. I don't care now. So, I met God last year. Whole heaven dear. Armageddon is here. I met God last year. Whole heaven, dear. Armageddon is here. I met God last year. Armageddon's here. Whole heaven, dear. Armageddon is here. I met God last year. Whole heaven, dear. I met God last year. Armageddon is here. I did meet God last year. Whole heaven, dear. Armageddon is here. People move out the cities. Everybody should move out the cities. Everybody should take my advice and move out the cities. I would if I was you. I don't know if I was you, I'd move out the cities. I don't tell you guys. I think you should move out the cities. I mean, I moved out the cities. I think you should move out the cities too. You should take it very seriously. I couldn't get my ex-wife to move. I couldn't get my best friends to move. I've been knowing for years. And what pisses me off the most, if my best friend would have told me he met God and he was moving and Armageddon was here, I'd have went with him. I believed him. My ex-wife would have said that, or my other friends would have said I'd have left with him. They offered me to go. I would have been like, okay, I'm coming. I believe you. None of them believe me. So I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. You know, and it's because I know what it is. They do not love me the way I love them and believe in me like I believe in them. But God told me, you know, my ex-wife, I married her for 14 years. And she came to me and told me she met God, that she was moving because Armageddon's here, and God told her to move out the cities. I went with her. I believed every word she said. I went with her. You know, she just tells me some dumb shit. So that's no big deal. You know, I couldn't get nobody to move with me. You know, nobody. I couldn't get anybody to move. So they'll see. God told me I'd die a slow and painful death down here in Florida when the war starts. So we will see what happens when the war starts. You know, but that's what he told me. I'd die a slow and painful death down there if I stayed. So I did not stay. Duh. I actually I couldn't leave quick enough. The next day I ran next door to my neighbor and asked him if he wanted to buy my home. You know, my $255,000 home for $75,000. You know, he drew me down a little bit. I won 100, and he said he was telling the truth. He could only come up with that much cash. He had to get his family and everybody to come up with all that cash, and he can only come up with $76,000. I said, that's cool. You know, no, you don't have to owe me the rest. You will not be alive to owe it to me. Because Armageddon's here. You're going to fix this house up. You're going to do all this stuff. And it's going to be blown away with the wind. I tried to get him to move up here, too. He would not move. He's still down there. They did all kind of extra work, too. The house did all kind of stuff. And, you know, I told him what God told me. I was going to die down there. You know? So, I don't know. Some people just, you know, he don't believe me. You know what I'm saying? He does not believe me. So, that's cool. You know. He does not believe me. You know, that's no big deal to me. You know, I'm okay with it. That people don't believe me. So, I can't get nobody to believe me. You know what I'm saying? So, that's cool. I'm okay with it. It's no big deal, you know? I mean, wildfire. It's just safe. It's nothing wildfire, though. Wildfire. It's all those. There's probably a big one, a big giant one. I don't know what they are. Doesn't say what they are. It just shows out on it. That's what it is. I want some of these in there too, make it look real cool. Yeah, these all look real cool. Oh, yeah, there. Some of these. Once again, oh heaven dear, I met God last year. Fire all his missiles at once. Armageddon is here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God said he's the most evilest soul here right now. God said he's going to make Hitler look like a baby. God said we have to invade his country. God said he built 2 palaces, the back door by Russia, and his plan is simple. He thinks we're coming in to kill him, so he's going to sneak attack us first. God told me he does not have 65 nuclear missiles. God told me he has over 100 nuclear missiles. And God told me he has 28,000 chemical missiles. He's only got a few hundred stage 2 missiles, God told me, and he saves them all for us. And he fires them with dummy missiles. And he fires them all at once. He gives the oil, fire, everything at once at us. God told me he lays waste to our fleet that knocks down missiles too. That he walks missiles like dominoes all the way out to the fleet. God told me he knows exactly where the fleet's at. God told me he buys satellite time from the Russians and China. So God told me. I'm back and I brought extra goodies.
Okay. Do you have your receipts for these?
I don't.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license handy?
Yeah. I don't know if I bought the right kind of seeds. I just bought some good quality ones. I don't know what to buy here. I never lived in the cold.
I mean, bluegrass is usually pretty good.
Is that what I bought?
Usually we don't. I mean, we don't really sell anything that won't grow here.
I bought sunflowers to put in there too. I'm just gonna mix that with seeds too. That grow everywhere.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. This is my friend's front of his business to look nice. He's got a car dealership in town, fixing the grass and everything. Make it look nice for him. Okay, y'all still there? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stay live as long as I can here on out through to the bomb drops.
Okay, so then after the credit for the return screws, it's going to be $39.50 for the rest.
Oh, cool. Just enough.
Nice. All right. All right, 50 cents back for you.
All right.
Do you want a sack for anything?
I think I can carry it all.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, good luck. Hopefully it'll look good when it's all said and done.
The other day I bought a lawnmower battery here.
Yeah, that's the core part. Batteries, if you bring your old batteries, we'll use them.
Okay, I got it out in my truck. I was just wondering if that was the deal.
Oh, a handle on it. I didn't even see it. It's got a little handle on it. That's cool. Thank you. Again, once again, whole heaven dear, Armageddon is here. I met God last year. God told me to move because Armageddon is here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. Hold heaven dear. We get sneak attacked by North Korea this year. God told me the guy is the most evil soul here right now. God told me Donald Trump's a really good guy. God told me he's sneak attacking us because he thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. Hold heaven dear, Armageddon is here. God told me he destroys our fleet out in the Japanese Sea. God told me he walks missiles like dominoes all the way out to the ships. God told me he's got over 100 nuclear missiles, and God told me he's got 28,000 chemical missiles. God told me he's got a couple hundred stage 2 rockets, and he fires them all at us with dummy missiles in them. And once he lays waste to the fleet, the missiles start getting through, and the president has no choice. He's got to lay waste to North Korea. God told me Armageddon is here. I met God last year. I don't know what God tells you. I met God. I know what God told me. God told me to move out the cities. He told me one place he wanted me to move, but he said I can move anywhere I wanted. But he wanted me to be at one specific location. And he said it didn't matter where I moved. I can move anywhere I wanted. But he wanted to move here. I said, okay. I'd probably be dead because it's got to be a barren wasteland. He said, no, it is not a barren wasteland. You will be just fine. I am God. I've only met God 7 months and a few days, so I did not know that there was a God. I assumed, like everyone else did, that there might be a God. And when I got in trouble, I would pray to him. I was going to pray to him before I prayed to the other thing they said they had, the devil. So I would pray to God when I got in trouble. Other than that, I lived my life and did not know either way if there was a God. People, there is a God, and he is cool as can be. He is all love and light. All the bad things that happen here on earth are us. They are us. They're a product of us being here on the planet to shed the darkness. And what God told me, I know what God told you, I know what God told me. God told me to move. God told me Armageddon's here. And what God told me. Well, I do not know what God told you. I do not care what the fuck he told you, because I've only gotten shit from people when I tell them I met God. I've had a couple people accept me for telling them that and be my friends up here. Most people everywhere, here and down there, treat me like shit when I tell them that. I had today as my day that I was going to stop doing everything I was doing and only spend time with God, the planet, and the animals. It's a fucking shame I can't find one fucking human being to spend time with too before the world gets shitted up by this evil bastard. I can't find one human being to accept me for who I am and that I met God, and to hang out with me and just fucking enjoy the planet while the sun's not blocked out and enjoy it. Not one. I can't find one. That is the sad part. That is what's sad. I tell people I met God and they shun me. I go to churches and tell them they all of them, every single one has shunned me. I have been to every single church that you could name. I have been shunned by every single group and every single church. All of them. The only people that accept me do not go to church. That's the only ones. None of them go to church. I still go to churches and tell them all the time. I go to all kinds of churches and tell them, I do not care. I do not give a fuck monkey. What you think about me before I met God, I am the same person after I met God. I don't care what people think about me. I tell people the truth. I met God last year. Armageddon is here. God told me Armageddon's here. He told me move out cities. I've been trying to tell everybody, trying to get my family and everybody move out cities with me. I cannot get anyone to move out cities with me to move up here. People that if they would have told me the same thing, I would have moved. I would have moved with them. My best friend, my other friend, my ex-wife, I had to move with all of them. Had it been somebody they knew that said that, I'd have moved with them. I figured for sure my ex-wife, 14 years, would go. I figured, sure, she'd believe me. Guess what? I figured wrong. My sister, been knowing all my life, I figured for sure she would believe me. Guess what? I figured wrong. My best friend, I've been knowing most of my life. I figured for sure he would go with me. Guess what? I figured wrong. This chick I was hanging out with that was real cool down there in Florida. I figured for sure she'd go with me. Guess what? I figured wrong. Other people, I figured wrong. Every single person that was in my life, I figured fucking wrong about. And I would have went with them. If they would have said it, I'd have been gone in a heartbeat. I'd be up here, right here with them, right now, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I left it down. In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I've been told everything from you're insane, you must be high, to them calling the police on me, to all kind of shit by pastors and ministers alike and church people. God said the worst thing on the planet is a religious fanatic that will kill and blow themselves up and do stuff in the name of his name. He said he hates it the most when children do that. Is what God told me. I do not know what God told you. Once again, I do not care, because I haven't had but a couple people accept me for saying what I've said here and there. Everybody else has been shit. Every church I went to, shit is what I've gotten. Shit. Any one of the church organizations, I've been to them all. I go and go and go still, hoping to find one that'll believe me or talk to me about it. Don't have to believe me, talk to me about it. I haven't had one person say what I would say. Tell me all about it. Tell me what he's like. Tell me what God's like. Tell me this about God. Tell me that about God. Not one. Not one. Not one. Not one. Not one. Not one. Not one person. I told him God told me all this cool stuff. How cool God is. I haven't had one person ask me, well, what does he do this, that? What do we do when we get to heaven? What do we do here? Not one. Not one. Not one. And me, I can meet a stranger on the street that tells me he met God, and I'll be like, well, tell me what he's like. Tell me where we go. Tell me where we go after we die. Tell me how do we get to hell? How do we get to heaven? Tell me all this, what God told me. Stranger. I've gotten to where now, when a pastor starts telling me some shit, that I told him I met God, and I start telling him this, that, and the other, and he opens his mouth, and shit falls out of his mouth, I just get up and leave. I'm not rude. Because he does love God in his own way. And I do too. That's what pisses me off the most. That he should be respectful enough to allow me to believe what I believe. That's what gets underneath my skin the most. You believe the way you fucking believe. Just let me believe the way I believe. I met God. He told me Armageddon's here. I believe this about him. I believe that about him. That's what God told me. And I get nothing. I get shit out their mouth. I get shit out their pastors. I get shit out their soul. To me. The way I look, because of the way I dress, because of the way I act. I do not give a fuck monkey. And I'm the check it out your ass 3 times fucking monkey too. I check everything in my whole life 3 times. I'll check it, and check it. But what pisses me off the most is that my own people that I would have left with and been right here with them by their side now would not go with me. That is what underneath my ass the most. Any one of them would have said that. I would boom. And I get shit. I get fucking shit. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie just to get laid. You know? I'm not gonna not tell some chick that I did not meet God. Because I'm all excited about it. You know? That I met him. So, once again, people, this is not a drill. This is a fucking emergency. I met God last year. Armageddon is here. I'm going to try to stay live as long as I can from here on out to the bombs drop. And come back on afterwards. I'm going to try to do as much as I can while I'm here. I'm going to try to do everything I can while I'm here. I am going to help people. I'm going to try to do what I can do. I got some cool friends here that I met, and I have told this to, and they're a little skittish, but they still accept me. You know, I mean, at least they say, "What if you're right?" Oh my God, what if you're right? And I said, well, you know, I'm not gonna keep talking about it. I told you guys once. I'm not gonna come in here and tell you guys over and over again to have it eat at you. I just tell you and forget about it, and just put it on the back burner. And God said, "All will fear." The great war is here. That all will fear. So when the fear comes up, when the bombs drop, just remember, God moved me here. And God said no missiles will fall where we're at. And the fear will go away. And thank God. Don't thank me. Thank Him. Do not thank me at all. Thank Him. You know? And maybe I can help a few people not to be fearful when it starts. I won't be. I have already had my fear when God showed me how it would be where I lived at with the radiation poison in the air, mixed in the salt air, blowing hard off the coast. In my face with radiation poisoning everywhere, up and down the coastline. And the way people would be going insane from the chemicals He fired at us, and the way people would go around in groups down there. God said people are going to get together in groups and go around raping and killing, burning down homes, breaking your home, take you, your kids, kill you, rape your kids. And God says it's going to be really, really bad in the cities. He said evil will show its ugly head, and love and light will chop it off eventually, but evil will show. So if your neighbor was thinking about raping you and killing you, this is when they'll do it. That's what God told me. So anybody that's thinking about raping you and killing you, this is exactly when they do it. They didn't do it because they had consequences. They go to prison. Now they're not going to have consequences. There'll be no phones. There'll be no phone service. There'll be no cell towers. There'll be none of that. The cops will be gone. God said wherever the shit dust lands, the cops are the first to go at emergency units. They come out on the scene and do not realize it's chemical that they're coming out on the scenes for. They realize the war has started, but they do not realize that they're coming out on the scenes for chemicals, and they go insane too. They go to try to control people that have the chemicals all over them. They get the chemicals on them, and in 15 minutes, they're insane too. He said that happens everywhere. He said the chemicals will blow like dust in the wind from one end of America to the other, is what God told me. Once again, I do not know what God told you. I know what God told me. I know what God told me. I don't know what God told you. I'm going to try to stay live here on out as long as I can. Through the war, the start of the war, the beginning of the war. God told me what the trumpets are. God told me all about trumpets. I know what the trumpets are, and I can read Revelations and interpret it. I know what Revelation 18 is, the fall of New York City. God said the leader of North Korea has 15 nuclear missiles aimed at New York and 8 aimed at Washington and 3 at all the other major cities. So you do the math. He's got over 100 of them. He's going to probably waste 20 of them over that way and send 80 of them our way. We'll probably knock down about 60 of them, so 20 of them will probably get through and hit their destinations, is the math I did on the whole thing. I looked up military accuracy of our accuracies, and if missiles come in succession, like they're going to come, that they can only knock down 80 or 85%. If they come one at a time, they can always get it down. If they come 2 or 3 at a time, they can knock them out the sky too. 5 or 10 of them come, they can hit all of those. But these are coming by the thousands. He's got dummy missiles mixed in with the rest that shoot up and go right to the edge of orbit. And then the 2-stage ones go out of orbit and come and drop back down. So he's shooting chemical missiles, dummy missiles, and nuclear missiles at us. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. He's got thousands, like 20-something thousand missile launchers over there. And he's going to load them all up and shoot missiles everywhere. He gives the order to sneak attack, and he sneak attacks the fuck out of us. He wants to do it as quick as possible, what God told me, because he is paranoid that we are coming in to kill him, like we did Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein had to go live in a hole like a dog. And we knocked out all his communications in 15 minutes and went in and tore it all up. And that's what he's afraid of. Plus, his daddy made him promise to fire all the nuclear missiles at us if it looks like America is coming in to get you. And if you look at it, it looks like America is coming in to get you. But that's what God told me. I do not know what God told you. I only know what God told me. I don't know what God told you. I only know what God told me. I don't know what God told you. A God could have told you anything. What God told you. I do know what God told me. And God told me, Armageddon is here. Whole heaven dear. Armageddon is here. Armageddon is here. Whole heaven dear. America gets the shit nuked out of us this year, is what a guy told me. I do not know what a God told you. I only know what a God told me. Oh God, what a told you that. I do not know what a God told you. I do know what a God told me.